back. My name is Sensei Pong, and this is Sci-Hi, the little bit of a high school drama soap opera that we've found ourselves playing today. And now, what do we think of Carla's ability to be a pyro? What do we think? Do we think it's definitely scary? I hate to be on the wrong side of Carla's temper, or scary and wrong. I'd never use my ability to hurt people, or scary, and kinda sad. Carla's changed a lot since we were kids, and not in a good way. Or, not really. If someone has an ability like that, why not take advantage of it? Or, actually, it's pretty impressive. Well, if she's using it to intimidate people, it is pretty scary. But... Fire, burn, burn! Are you just admiring Carla's magical power, or is there something more to it? Isn't admiring Carla's magical power enough? Yeah, it's kinda hot. Burn. There'd be something more, but Carla's already dating Jake. Well... it's kinda hot. No pun intended, right? But power is pretty attractive. And Carla definitely has power. The flame dances on the end of Carla's finger as she touches it to the tip of her cigarette. Usually Carla would let it go after that, but she keeps the flame burning, moving her hand back and forth, a lazy smile on her lips as she watches the flame. Then, in a sudden burst of motion, Carla launches off the wall. One hand snatches a cigarette away from the other, and the other with the flame points straight in Ryan's face. Ryan springs back instinctively, eyes widening in shock. Whoa! Ryan begins. Don't you whoa me, Carla shouts. Don't talk to me. You listen. Slowly, Carla brings up her hand, a flame flickering even closer to Ryan's face. You listen. That's a hiss now, but just as furious as a shout. I know you've been buying and selling on the side. You don't do that. Nobody does that. Nobody gets sold. Nothing gets sold in this school unless it goes through me. Carla falters mid-sentence as something catches the edge of her vision. As you catch the edge of her vision. As a matter of fact, Carla catches your eye, and just for a moment, her expression changes. There's recognition, relief, and a little softness too. Whatever it was, it's gone in the next second. Oh, get the hell away from me, Carla growls at Ryan. The flame winks out, and Carla pushes Ryan's chest with both hands. We're done! Ryan staggers back, feet scrabbling frantically to keep his balance. He's still moving backward when he starts to run away. That leaves you and Carla alone. She tilts her head to look back towards you, and her chin jerks up in a sort of reverse nod of greeting. What do? Either I stay where I am, I cross my arms, meet Carla's eyes straight on, and wait for her to make the first move. Or, I come a few steps closer and say in a friendly, confident tone, Hey Carla, you text me, what's going on? Or I come over to lean against the wall, side next to the building next to Carla, quiet and casual, not saying anything. You stay back. No way am I going to risk Carla shouting at me the way she did to Ryan. I highly doubt she would do that to me. But, well, asking for help, she's not going to be barking at the person she's asking for help. So, I'm going to be all cool, because my name is Charles. My name, Charles, the Heartbreaker. If anybody knows where that quote is from, I'll give you a hint. It's from a game. Post it down in the comments below, and maybe you'll win something for being the first one to post that. I don't know. Figure it out. But again, the quote is, My name, Charles. I'm a heartbreaker. So, as Charles the Heartbreaker, I come over to lean against the side of the building next to Carla, quiet and casual, not saying anything. For a long moment, Carla is silent, just smoking and staring off in the distance. The sound of people shouting happily, sports practice, echoes distantly as if it were a mile away instead of just a few yards. Jake broke up with me, Carla finally says. Her voice is low and dull, with none of the bravado of a moment ago. Out of nowhere, I swear, things were good, real good. But then last week, he comes to me and says he can't do it no more. Wow, that's pretty surprising. As far as you knew, Carla and Jake hadn't any problems. Does this mean Carla is single now? Where the hell did this come from? Carla's hand cuts sharply through the air in a frustrated gesture, cigarette smoke trailing behind. Don't do drugs, kids. You gotta tell me what happened, Pong. I love him, and I thought he loved me. I gotta know why he did it. I've been thinking about it for a week, and I can't get it out of my head. How do you answer? Well, either I answer or I stick to business. I'm just here because Carla asked me to do a job, and how she feels about it doesn't change that. Or I feel awful like Carla's so upset. I'll put my hand on her arm to comfort her. Or, right after a breakup, people usually hate the person they just broke up with. I'll pretend to hate Jake too. Maybe that'll make Carla feel better. Or, wow, I'm really surprised to see Carla is showing so much emotion. Kind of uncomfortable too. I'll just stay where I am. My name is Charles, the Heartbreaker. You reach out to touch Carla's arm. It's okay, you say gently. There. I'll help you figure it out, I promise. Excuse me. Carla flinches sharply back, like a wild animal that's not used to being touched. Then she lets out a breath, slow and measured. You can feel her muscles relaxing under the leather sleeve of her jacket. Thanks, she says quietly. No, it's been a while, but I knew I could count on you. You take out your phone, open up to your note-taking app, and look up at Carla. What did Jake say? Why was he breaking up, I mean? Carla flinches a little, but she's more ready for it this time. Said he didn't feel like we were going the same places in life. Carla takes a long drag on her cigarette and blows the smoke out, an angry sigh. Don't do drugs, kids. What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry, but I have to ask, you begin. Carla shifts, angrily, a wary glance at you. Did Jake say anything about seeing anyone else? You're bracing for another volcano of anger, but Carla just shakes her head. Said he wasn't. Said it wasn't about that. Just kept talking about long-term plans and the big picture. A bitter note enters Carla's voice when she's quoting Jake. I got no clue where that came from. Jake isn't into long-term plans. Jake's fun. Carla's smile quirks crookedly up, and a spark comes from her dark eyes as she remembers. Kicking back and partying and doing his own thing, not caring about what anybody does. Party-loving, rebellious. He certainly sounds like Jake, and like Carla too. Since when does he think about anything in the long term? This is definitely odd. What do you ask Carla next? Well, let's see what... Did you think Jake was telling the truth about why he was breaking up with you? Or what do you think Jake meant when he said long-term plans? Was Jake acting strangely in any other way? What happened the day before he broke up with you? Now, we've got some questions to be answered about Jake. And I think we're going to ask Carla, do you think you'll need to wait until next time here on Sci-Hi with Sensei Pong? Like and subscribe.